Hello, folks, and welcome back to twitch.tv/games with Nick. Last time on Virtues as Rewards, we found another what you call it time lock, where we need to show Clover that Alice actually killed herself, and so we jumped to a slightly different timeline, exploring the laboratory, where we found a vial of Exelavir, the cure for Reticle 6, and also learned that one of the effects of Reticle 6 is to make time go by a lot faster for the person that's experiencing it. In fact, faster by a factor of square root of 6, hence the name. And we have just finished the escape room as we pick it up. Hey, Dia goes, hey, hold on a minute. Huh?
There's something... Nah, I guess there's a couple of things I want to double check. Well, one of them's not really significant, I guess.
Huh?
First off, this machine. We didn't even end up using this thing, did we?
Yeah.
I was just wondering what it was.
Well, I'm not sure I'm supposed to answer that. Look at the side here, there's a name or something. IG Replicator?
Replicator makes it sound like it makes copies of stuff.
But it's like a copy machine.
Yeah. Probably copies IG, whatever that is.
Any ideas?
Who knows? Ice cream by the gallon?
Of course! This machine must be here so we can just make all the ice cream we want. Are you nuts? You're one idiotic girl, you know that? Come on, Sing, there's no need for that. In other words, an IG. Oh, idiotic girl. I see.
Oh, good one.
Hey, this isn't the time for stupid jokes. There's a helpless child back there in the infirmary who needs our help.
Since when Dio cares about kids? He was right, of course. I hung my head in shame.
At any rate, as long as we don't know what IG means, we can't do anything with this machine, right?
That's right.
Makes sense. On to the second issue. Sigma, you found a journal and some sort of vial in the safe, right?
Yeah.
The vial. Could you show it to me again?
Why?
I didn't really get a good look at it before. You guys were in there so close I could barely see it. Was it really Exelavir?
Yeah, definitely. As I spoke, I pulled the vial out of my pocket. See, it's written right here on the label. Exelavir.
You really are an idiot. Although I guess in this case the G in IG stands for guy.
What? I don't... The words were barely out of my mouth when he moved. Before I could blink, the vial disappeared from my hand. Hey, what gives?
What are you doing?
Dia slipped the vial quickly into his coat.
Oh, don't worry. I'll keep it safe. I'll even give it back to you later.
No, not later. Give it back now.
I don't think so. If you want it back, you're gonna have to listen to my request.
Request?
Yeah, that's what I said. If you want this back, in the next AB game, you have to choose Ally.
Ally? Wait, is that why you took the medicine to blackmail me?
That's horrible! You're using Quark's life as leverage!
Well, I've got some really good reasons to do so.
What a piece of shit.
I'll be happy to give it back if you just do what I say.
I didn't realize until they started to hurt that I'd curled my hands into fists. Dia would only give me an opening.
I wouldn't try and take it back by force if I were you. You make any sudden moves and I'll smash it.
He patted his pocket gently.
Oh, and one more thing. Don't tell those other idiots that you found some Exelavir in here. I hear one word about it, and the next thing you hear will be little bits of glass shattering on the floor.
Damn it.
That's not fair.
This game isn't about compassion. It's not about being clever. It's about one thing. How well you can manipulate people to your advantage. How unfair you
What
can
a
be.
piece of shit.
So, what are you gonna do? Ready to promise me you'll pick Ally?
Fine. I promise.
Sigma!
Oh, I knew you'd say it eventually. I'm glad you understand how this works. but don't think about trying anything funny. Break your promise and, well, you know what happens. See you chumps later. I'm really looking forward to the next round.
With one last self-satisfied chuckle, Dio strutted out of the room. Strutted. I guess hat with a strut. Yeah, makes sense. Not a common word. What a piece of garbage.
Are you really going to do what he says?
Yeah.
Sigma, you've only got one BP right now. If we choose ally and he chooses betray...
I know. I'll drop to -1, but it means I'll get penalized.
But that means...
Look, it's not like I want to, alright? If we don't do as he says, then he'll destroy the medicine. If he does that, then Quark will...
So you're going to die to save his life? That's... Why would you do that?
In all honesty, I was terrified. My choice was far from a foregone conclusion. Well, we should get back to the upper floor. Everybody else is probably finished already, but they're waiting for us. I didn't wait for Clover's response. The situation is tense. Are we gonna ally, or are we gonna betray? The lives of 2 people are on the line. I do like the game just forcing you to stay in silence here.
An ambidex gate has been opened. 45 minutes remain until ambidex game polling closes.
Sorry, I went ahead and cracked it open a bit early.
Dio. One of his hands was a moon key. He twirled it around like a veteran gambler, grinned, and slid it back into his pocket.
You don't mind, right? I figured you and Clover would get up here right away. Besides, I thought it'd be best to get this done soon before you lose your nerve. I don't know about you, I'm really looking forward to the next round.
I glanced around at the warehouse. Alice and Kay were back, as was Phi, and of course Clover. Where's Semyoji and the rest of them?
They're in the infirmary.
We carried Quark to one of the beds. Tenmyoji and Luna are looking after him.
How's he doing?
Well, it's hard to say. He seems to be sleeping soundly, but beyond that, there's really no way to know.
No change then, huh?
Right.
So what was your room, Sigma?
A laboratory.
Is that so?
Did it look like the kind of place where they'd be researching viruses and DNA and those kinds of things?
Yeah, it did.
Was there any of that Excelavir?
Don't tell those other idiots that you found some Excelavir in here. I hear one word about it, and the next thing you hear will be little bits of glass shattering on the floor.
My eyes flickered to Dia for a moment. No, nothing. Beside me, Clover bit her lip.
I see.
So how'd it go with you? Find anything interesting? I only shook her head. With a unison of movement, it almost looked choreographed. Alice and Kay shrugged.
Where does that leave us? We've still got about 40 minutes left until voting ends.
What are you gonna do?
I'm a little curious about that lab you found. I thought I might go take a peek at it.
I'll show you the way then.
That would be wonderful.
I think I'll go have a look at the room Alice, Kay, and Tenmyoji found. Never know. Maybe you missed something. Perhaps there's some Excelavir hidden somewhere in there.
What a fucking piece of shit.
Then I shall take you there.
What about you two? Where are you going?
Well, I think I'll start by heading over to the infirmary to see how Quark's doing.
Then I will too.
Glad that's settled.
She nodded to Clover and they disappeared through the magenta door. The NK followed a few footsteps behind. Okay then. Guess we should be going too.
Hold on. Show me that journal first. Dio told me about it. He wouldn't tell me anything about the lab except that you found a journal with, his words, some sort of bullshit language. He said you had it, so I was hoping I could take a look.
Yeah. One sec. I took the journal out of my pocket and handed it to Phi. She began to flip through the pages, her eyes quickly scanning each one.
This is Latin.
Latin? You mean you can read it?
Yeah, with time and a dictionary.
In other words, no.
Pardon me for not being able to translate a dead language on the fly.
I will excuse you for this time.
This looks like some kind of research log. It's not gonna be some sort of, I took the dog for a walk today. It was nice kind of stuff. I can understand a little of it, mostly conjunctions and things like that. But most of these words I've never even seen before.
I stared to leaf through the book again as she spoke. And suddenly she stopped.
Wait, I can read this one. Page 216. This isn't research notes. It looks like a personal entry. Don't rush
What's it
me.
say?
This is gonna take a minute. Interesting. All right, I think I got it. It looks like they're talking about Radical 6.
What? Where are you talking about that?
Not sure. Let me read it to you. Keep in mind I'm paraphrasing.
When the body is infected with Radical 6, the processing speed of the brain is reduced. If we assume the brain currently operates on a... Okay, we read this last time. Blah, 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 blah. Radical is another term for what is known as the root operation, function inverse to the taking of power. In a less mathematical sense, it can also be used to refer to something that is extreme or severe. Those infected by Radical 6 eventually develop a powerful urge to commit suicide. Yep, we already talked about this too. Those infected with Radical 6 perceive the work to be moving at a fever pitch as if it were a video cassette being fast-forwarded. Video cassette! Okay. For instance, although the patient believes that only 10 seconds have passed, in fact 24.5 seconds have passed. Given this increased speed of input, maintaining the ability to observe and reason would become a Herculean task. One theory holds that the disparity in time perception causes the brain to be flooded with massive amounts of information. Unable to keep up, it begins to fail. Whatever the cause, the infected invariably attempt to take their own life, which is arguably the most terrifying aspect of this virus. Research suggests that a targeted antiviral could kill or at least disable Radical 6, but we have been unable to develop one. It seems our best hope now is to harvest antibodies from someone with natural immunity to the virus. Thus far, we've been unable to locate a suitable subject. Given my current rate of progress, I predict that I will have a workable treatment within a decade or two. It is my fervent hope that humanity will be able to survive that long. And then it's the thing about the bodies. Oh Lord, please let their future be a bright one. Whoa, that's a lot of information. Now we know what the virus does to you, though. If you get infected, your brain slows down by the root of 1/6. That's what, about 40%?
That isn't the important part. Those infected by Radical 6 eventually develop a powerful urge to commit suicide.
Yeah, you're right. That would explain what Quark was, well, trying to kill himself.
There are two other things in here that worry me. First, the part about how they haven't managed to develop a treatment for it yet. What do you make of that?
What am I supposed to make of it? Maybe they just hadn't found one when this journal was written? I mean, from what we know, there's a drug called Excelivir that cures it.
Exactly. But in the journal it says it might take 20 years to make something like that.
Hold on a second. I'm getting confused. When was this thing even written?
December 29th. No year.
Well, there's no way it was written this year.
Yeah, probably not. Anyway, moving on. The second concern I have is about the underground shelters it mentions. The newspaper article said something about quarantining people too. After we read it, we all thought the same thing. What if this was one of those quarantine facilities? But this journal seems to suggest the opposite. The few humans who survived the outbreak have been locked away by the government in underground shelters.
You're trying to say this place might be one of those underground shelters, which would mean we're all supposed to be uninfected. We would have been thrown in here to keep us safe.
Yeah. I mean, there's no way to say for sure at this point, but it seems possible.
But Quark's been infected, right?
Then maybe the virus got in somehow.
That would be bad.
Just think about it for a minute. If this is one of those shelters, a lot of things start to make sense. Maybe we've been here for a long time. Like, maybe they put us to sleep somehow. Made us sleep for years, maybe even decades. While we were sleeping, the pandemic that the newspaper article talked about happened, and whoever had this journal made this entry.
And then once the antiviral treatment was finished, they woke us up.
Right. It's all just speculation, but...
No, that doesn't make sense. I mean, it seems like a pretty plausible scenario, but... We were all captured before the pandemic started, right?
Yeah.
And how would they have put us to sleep for that long? How would they have known to do that? But most importantly, why the hell are we playing Known or Game if the point of this place is to save us? Throwing a bunch of people into a game that might kill them is a pretty weird way to protect them from a pandemic.
Yeah, you're right.
See?
We don't have enough information to make any real conclusions. I think we should see if we can find anything else.
I had barely finished speaking before she took off for the magenta door. Hey, weren't you coming to the infirmary with me?
Changed my mind. You can tell me about Quark later.
And with that... he was gone. And... I had a long, tired sigh and started off toward the infirmary. How's he doing?
He seems to be stable, as far as I can tell.
Still sleeping.
I see. Mind if I have a look?
Please, go ahead.
I made my way around the partition to the side of Quark's bed. The journal and the thing Fi and I had talked about would definitely need to be addressed, but for the moment the AB game is what I need to concentrate on. Lives are at stake. Mine and Quark's. Powerful urge to commit suicide. If the journal is telling the truth, then as soon as the anesthetic wore off, Quark would go insane again. What if we weren't able to restrain him a second time? What if he managed to kill himself before he got to him? Or perhaps he'd just get out of the infirmary and go hide somewhere. On the other hand, it wasn't like we could keep anesthetizing him forever. There was only one way to save Quark, and that was with Excelivir. Unfortunately, Dio had stolen it. If we wanted to get it back, Clover and I would have to vote ally. But if I did, there was an excellent chance it would end up dead. The question was then what to do. Sacrifice myself to save Quark? Or keep quiet about the danger it was in to save myself? It was so faint I almost didn't hear it.
Grandpa.
He shifted a little and fell silent again. Was enough though. Why on earth I didn't thank him? How could I have even considered letting a child die in my place? Suddenly my cheeks felt hot with embarrassment and disgust. That I was considered letting Quark die even for a minute was pathetic. There was only one choice. There had only ever been one choice. No way I was going to leave Quark to die. My hands tightened into fists as I looked down at him. Any uncertainty I had felt before was gone. I knew what I had to do.
10 minutes remain until Ambidex game polling closes. All players, please enter your votes. If no vote is recorded before the deadline has passed, any non-voting parties will automatically ally. Results?
Looks like it's almost time. You two should head back.
What about you?
Not going. I'm worried about Quark.
But you're a solo. If you don't vote...
I'll automatically ally. I know. I heard the voice on the intercom just like you.
What are you going to do if Kay and Alice would betray?
Nothing, I suppose. Just means I lost that round. I'd just be voting ally anyway. You know who my opponents are, right? Alice only has one BP left. If I pick betray and they chose ally, I'd kill her. I'm not so desperate to escape that I'm gonna kill someone for it. And even if I was, I can't leave Quark behind. You see? Doesn't matter if I go into the AB room or not. My vote's the same either way.
Tenmyoji's mind was made up. Trying to persuade him to leave would have been pointless. Alright, take care of Quark.
Of course. You worry about yourself.
Let's go.
Okay.
Luna and I headed out in the infirmary, leaving Tenmyoji and Quark behind. When we got to the warehouse, we found everyone else waiting for us. Alright, let's do it. Well, not quite everyone. One other person was missing. Hey, where's Dio?
Take a look at the doors.
They're all closed. When we came in before, the one on the far right was open.
And that would mean...
That he went in, I guess.
Exactly.
That bastard. He'd probably been worried I would try and take the accelerator from him by force, so he'd hidden himself in the AV room. What a coward. I mean, I'm meant to choose ally no matter what, but part of me had still considered trying to jump D if he dropped a start. I'd made sure I wouldn't get the chance to try.
Where's Tenmyoji?
Oh,
Luna explained Tenmyoji's choice.
I see. Well, I guess that means I don't have to worry about him picking betray.
right. What will you guys be choosing then?
Ally, of course.
Because my BP is 6, I assume.
Yes. As long as Tenmyoji votes ally, I can't choose betray. If I do, Kay's BP will go up to 9.
But what if he forces you?
Ha ha ha. You needn't worry. I would never do something so crass.
Okay.
Really?
Of course.
Then you don't need to go in there.
Excuse me?
Alice can vote by herself. Then we don't have anything to worry about, right?
Well, I apologize, but I'm afraid I can't agree to that.
Why not?
I just can't. Shall we go, Alice?
Hey, hold on a minute there.
He continued briskly toward the AV room as if he simply hadn't heard Phi. Alice scrambled to follow him, perhaps concerned that he would lock her out. Only seconds later, they disappeared into the third room from the left.
I hope Alice is going to be okay.
Well, there's nothing we can do now. If Kay told the truth, she'll be fine.
5 minutes remain until Ambidex game polling closes.
Time's almost up. Come on, Luna.
Right.
They headed off in a truck toward the second room from the right and were soon out of sight inside it. Alright, Clover, time for us to go.
Right behind you.
I sighed to myself and headed toward the leftmost AV room.
What are you gonna do?
I don't really have a choice, do I? There's only one thing I can do. I'm going to choose ally.
You can't! You'll die!
Well, you never know. Just because Dia told us to ally doesn't necessarily mean he's going to be betrayed. As if.
Do you really think a jerk like that is going to choose ally if he doesn't have to? No. No way! He's got 6 BP right now. If he picks Betray, then he'll have 9 points.
Well, what about you?
Huh?
You've got 6 BP too, right? You choose Ally, which is Betrayed, and you have 9 BP.
What? No, that's not... I didn't even realize that until you brought it up. I'm just trying to tell you that Dio is going to pick Betray. That's who he is.
And I'm trying to tell you that I've made up my mind. That's who I am. The only choice is Ally. It's the only chance we get. We have to get the medicine back.
That's why Dio called you an IG. What makes you think he's going to give us the Excelavir, even if you do what he says?
Maybe he won't, but I can't guarantee that he'll destroy it if I pick Betray. That's who he is.
Fine. If you aren't gonna listen to me, then I guess I don't have a choice. I'll be pushing that button.
Huh? Before I realized what was going on, Clover ducked past me and ran toward the voting machine. No! Stop! I snatched her by the arm and hauled backward with all my strength.
Ow!
Sorry. Guess that was a little too hard, huh?
Hey! What do you think you're doing? You can't just throw a girl around like that.
Well, you're the one who tried to trick me.
But you're gonna die! Dio's going to kill you! You can't do this! I don't want you to die.
Ten seconds remain until Ambidex game polling closes.
Thanks. It means a lot to hear you say that, Clover. I gave her my best reassuring nod and turned to face the polling machine.
3, 2, 1.
I don't know, did I actually have a choice here?
Round 2 result.
It didn't feel like I had to confirm it. Like, it seems like I do have a choice. Maybe I was just spamming A so much. Also, you might notice that we do have a couple of locks that got unlocked. Because for this one, at the very least, we now know how to prove it was a murder, namely the journal. For several long moments, we just stared at one another. Words were unnecessary. Everything she would have tried to tell me, I could already see in her eyes. Let's go. I turned headed toward the results screen.
Sigma.
I heard her behind me, her voice barely louder than a whisper. The choice was already made. I stood up straight and kept walking. Notice that Alice wasn't there, I think. And Kay betrayed. And Dia, of course, betrayed me.
Results from round, please.
What?
Sigma's BP is...
Negative.
Suddenly, all eyes were on me. I felt their weight but stood my ground. It was the result I'd expected. I took a deep breath and closed my eyes. I didn't have to wait long. There was a sharp, quick pain in my wrist, barely even noticeable. I couldn't feel anything flowing into my veins, but I knew it was there. First would be the anesthetic silver oil. I blinked and my vision started to blur. When I tried to think, it felt like my mind had been stuffed with cotton. My legs began to wobble, then give out entirely as I crumpled to the floor.
Sigma! Sigma! Hang on! Hey! Sigma! Get up!
Sigma!
Oh no! Oh no! Oh no! Oh no!
Trying to open my eyelids was like trying to lift sheets of lead. My eyes had lost the ability to focus, but I could make out a blur that had to be D in front of the number 9 door. Damn it! You'll keep your promise. God damn it! I groaned with a Herculean effort, lifted my head, and then my sluggish body off the floor. Every step was a battle, and whenever I shifted my weight, my muscles threatened to give out again. But somehow I forced myself ahead, a single thought burning in my mind. I would reach Dio. Then, at last... The smudge of color faded into a recognizable person. I threw out my hand in front of him. Give it back. Give me the medicine.
Give it back. Don't act like it's yours. Are we supposed to share everything we find here?
I don't care. Just hand me the medicine.
What are you talking about?
We found the Excelvier in the laboratory.
And Dio stole it.
What?
You mean he has it right now?
Yeah. So?
I kept my promise. Now, you. I wasn't a fool. I knew the kind of person Dio was. There was a chance he wouldn't give us back the Excelvier. If he didn't, then I'd die with my hands around his throat. I gathered as much of my mind as I could and got ready to attack.
Fine.
Not quite what I'd been expecting.
Here.
With a shrug, he pulled the vial out of his pocket and tossed it toward me. I caught it and pulled the tiny glass bottle to my chest where I might drop it. The label said unmistakably Excelvier. It was the real thing. Clover, take it. I held it toward her.
Right. Of course.
She quickly tucked it into her pocket. Good. Now at least Quark will be alright. But Dad, the last of my strength left me and I dropped to my knees.
Sigma! Are you okay? Sigma! Sigma!
I guess this is it.
First is the Soparil, which put you to sleep. 9 minutes later, the tubocurarine is injected, numbing your respiratory muscles. I guess you could say it'll really take your breath away.
9 minutes. Once the Silpharil was injected, I had 9 minutes until the muscle relaxant followed it. About 4 minutes had already passed, which left me with 5, give or take a little. In 5 minutes, I would be dead. What could I do in 5 minutes? How could I save myself? I gave a raspy, quiet laugh. Even with Dad staring me in the face, I seemed to be determined to struggle right up until the very end. Okay, Sigma. We can do this. Clinging desperately to what little consciousness I had left, I racked my brain for any possible solutions. How could I save myself? How? There had to be something. Every problem, no matter how difficult, has a solution. There's always another option. Hopelessness is a state of mind. I just had to think! 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 There was a way out to find it. Wasn't ready to give up on life yet. There had to be an answer. And we got another lock. But, for the first time in a while, we are actually able to open up a couple. So I'm going to start with this one. Is there proof it wasn't murder? Those infected by Radical 6 eventually develop a powerful urge to commit suicide. Suddenly, Clover moved. I leapt forward and clamped my hand around her wrist.
What are you doing?
Clover, listen to me. Alice wasn't killed. Nobody murdered her. She took her own life.
What? No, there's no way she'd do that.
It's true. She stabbed herself in the heart with a scalpel.
All right, where'd she get the scalpel then?
Well,
I did hear someone come into the infirmary right after the AB game ended.
Was that before I showed up?
Yes, I got up to see who it was, but they were already gone. It could have been Alice.
so she could have taken the scalpel then.
Yes, I think so. You're lying! This is all a lie! It has to be!
It's not. It's the truth.
Then why did she do it? Why would Alice kill herself?
She probably didn't have a reason.
What?
She'd been infected with Radical 6. That's what killed her.
But you just said she killed herself. Just tell me the truth. Then
I am.
prove it. Your 10 seconds ran out a long time ago. So if you don't have any proof...
I do. I have proof. There was a journal in the lab, wasn't there, Kay? Show it to me.
Journal?
It would have been in the safe.
Ah, well, Alice would have it then.
Bye, can you? I don't feel right touching a dead woman's body. Could you take a look?
Sure.
Where is she even hiding the journal? Her hands barely shook as she quickly searched through Alice's clothing. It was only seconds before she stopped. Slowly and carefully, she drew something out. There it was. The journal. I turned to hand it to me, but I shook my head. You read it. It's in Latin. I can make heads or tails of it. She cocked an eyebrow at me and flipped the small book open. When she looked back up at me, it was with both suspicion and surprise.
Yeah, it is Latin, but translating this is impossible. It's full of words I've never heard before. I can barely understand any of this.
Page 216.
Huh?
Turn to page 216. You should be able to read that one. My eyes frown deepened, but she did as I suggested. I watched her eyes quickly scan the page before looking up at me with renewed suspicion.
Yeah, I can read this page. How did you know? No, wait. How did you even know there was a journal in the lab?
You know how I know. I just knew.
You just knew. Come on.
Look, just read it, okay? Clover wants to hear what it has to say. Right?
Yeah.
Right. Give me a moment to look it over.
After a few moments of whispering to herself in Latin, Fi began to translate, paraphrasing the content of the journal. Radical 6 reduces the process speeding of brain, blah 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 blah. Okay, we've read this before.
Oh Lord, please, let their future be a bright one.
Fi shut the journal with a soft slap. A sickly silence drifted through the room. The newspaper article, the recording, the conversation with Temioji, and now this journal entry. There was no more hiding from the truth. The pandemic had already happened. All of Clover's rage suddenly dissipated and she collapsed to the floor, tears pouring down her face. None of us had the heart to say anything, and for several long moments the only sound in the room was Clover's sobs.
We've got a problem. It's almost time for the primary doors to open.
Yeah, only 10 minutes left.
Sorry, but I'll be taking Alice's bracelet. Fi and I won't be able to open the secondary door without it.
So she was a magenta pair, just like me.
Just now noticed that, did ya?
As he spoke, Dio grabbed the bracelet off the floor and dropped it into his pocket.
What color is your bracelet, Luna?
I'm a cyan pair.
You are part of Clover's pair, then. That means the two of you will need to come with me.
I guess so. Come on now, Clover. We need to go. Alice would want you to survive, wouldn't she? You'll never be able to figure out why all this happened if you stay here. Please. You're right. Alice, I promise I'll find out what happened to you. I'll figure out who Zero really is. I mean, if you'd never been locked up in here, you never would have... This never would have happened. So it's like Zero killed you. I promise. I'll avenge you.
Clover stood up and rubbed her hands roughly over her eyes, smearing tears across her cheeks. Then, with a determined frown, she strode out of the room.
Alright, we're out of time. Move, people.
You guys head on down to the Floor B warehouse. We'll catch up with you later.
Alright. Quark's got the yellow bracelet, which makes him your partner, right?
Yeah, can't exactly leave him behind.
Without him, we'd end up stuck in the AV room.
Uh-huh.
Okay, let's go. We'll see the rest of you once we've picked up Quark.
Very well. Until we meet again.
And it looks like this is the branch where we get to do the White Room too.
Quark, you're awake.
Yeah, I just woke up. Hey, where's everybody else?
Oh God. Quark.
And Mioji's entire body shook with emotion as he drew closer to him. Cautiously laid a trembling hand on the boy's shoulder, almost as if he were afraid Quark would disappear in a puff of smoke the moment he was touched. When Quark proved that to indeed be corporeal, Tenmyoji let out a cry and threw his arms around him.
What's wrong? Are you okay, Grandpa?
That's nothing. Nothing's wrong. I'm fine.
But
Quark gave him a puzzled look. Tenmyoji didn't even notice. His face was a mixture of happiness and relief, and I could see tears twinkling from the wrinkled corners of his eyes. All trace of his usual gruff stoicism had vanished. I didn't want to interrupt such a happy reunion, but we were running out of time. Still, Tenmyoji deserved a few minutes. I left him alone. At last, Tenmyoji seemed to recover and shifted from an embrace to a protective arm around the shoulder.
So, how are you feeling?
feeling? Well, okay, I guess. Was I sick or something?
No. You're not sick. If you feel fine, then you're fine.
Huh?
I'm sorry. I should never have gotten you involved in all this.
What are you apologizing for?
Sorry.
You're doing it again. Are you sure you're okay? So, where's everybody else? Mr. Sigma's here, but he's just been standing there looking kind of silly.
I gave a nervous smile and explained about the white doors. I got the feeling Tenmyoji didn't want Quark to know about Radical 6, so I avoided any mention of it. Alice's death was something else left for later.
Okay, that makes sense. That means I'm on a team with you guys, right?
Right.
So, these white doors, when are they gonna open?
Well, we've got about 4 minutes until the primary doors open.
Oh, that's not good. We need to hurry. Come on! How do we get to the Floor B warehouse?
Okay, we're going.
Follow me. Yay! Alright. How many escape rooms do we still have to do, by the way?
Chromatic
We're about to do
doors
this
have
one.
opened.
So there is one more somewhere down this branch, I'm gonna assume. So that's... And then there's 2 more that we have not explored yet where we need to betray someone beforehand.
5 minutes remain until chromatic doors close.
You're late. Where the hell have you been? Quark?
You're awake!
And fully recovered, apparently.
I am also relieved to see you well again.
Me too.
Wait a minute. What are you talking about?
I looked at the others from behind Quark and held a warning finger up to my lips. There were a few momentarily raised eyebrows and some nervous coughing, and everyone suddenly fell silent.
Huh?
From Quark's perspective, it must have seemed especially odd.
Anyway, there isn't any time left. We need to hurry.
But there are 3 doors.
Which team goes into which door?
All of the doors are identical for this round. I believe it doesn't matter which team uses which door.
Then we're taking the one in the middle.
Why that one?
You want a kill shot, you aim for the center. You're more likely to just miss the extremities.
That logic is flawed and more than slightly disturbing. Unfortunately, I don't really have a counter-argument, so center door it is.
I suppose we could go with the one on the left. Is that okay? I mean, we could go with the other one if you want.
And Clover only nodded.
Well, there's only one left.
The door on the right.
Any objections? All right, let's move.
30.
Hurry it up. This thing's gonna close.
I know.
Alright, everybody rushing.
It's time we were going as well.
Right. Sure.
Right, Bob?
Let's go, yep.
1. 0. Chromax.
Director's office. Oh yeah, we have seen this place, but we haven't actually done it. This is where the ID still is waiting. Okay.
Probably the office of whoever it is that's running this place.
It said director's office on the door.
This might be your senior's office.
Maybe. Or maybe not.
Well, which is it?
Why the hell would I know?
We should look around. If this...
Alright, let's get started. Let me also... I know that this thing ends with a tangram, and I am not doing that, honestly, because I hate those kind of puzzles. Let me just pull it up for later. Alright. Business card holder with weird shapes on the back. Hi, Rally Tech. Yeah, no, tangrams, I'm like... They're also not great to do on the stream, so... Nope, not opening. Computer is not responsive. Yeah, I remember that you really have to line things up right for them to actually accept it as the correct solution. We got a world map. There's a balloon. Starting up. Let's grab this brandy, which Temyoji knows a lot about. Yeah, it would make sense. I guess the password never really changed from game to game, right? Okay, so we definitely don't want the expensive brandy here. I like how they use that fact at the very end of the game for the, without spoiling, save ending, let's call it. Okay, this is the cheap brandy. We also got a tablet. Let's put the good brandy on. Now we need to reorder these. I'm not sure which order to go in yet, so let's not attempt it. What about this thing? It's a save. Okay, but we don't know what to connect to what, so let's skip that for now. Something that is not turned on. No, I'm just... So I played through this game like a billion times. It's one of my favorite games, so I mostly know what's gonna happen, but I'm just playing through it as it happens. Let me get the spear and the blink shot. Can I spear it? Nope. Oh, I should put the bad brandy here. Laser beam spinning all around the bottle. It's making a parallelogram. Is it doing something to the screen? Still starting up. Facial recognition device. We also just learned that 10 years in the salvage business. I feel like memorizing the puzzles would be a pretty sad thing to do, and it would really be annoying. Do we get some... Okay, we got the world map. Oh, makes sense. Green to red, white to cyan, magenta to yellow. Okay, so we need magenta to yellow, green to cyan, and white to... no. White to cyan. Yeah, I guess on a speedrun you would just be skipping the whole thing, wouldn't you? Okay, but then do I have... yeah, I have to connect that one. Okay, so that's not gonna work. So... let's try going around to connect these two. Yeah, nope, that's also not gonna work. Let's try to go around this way then. Now we should be able to connect these. And lastly, once I figure out the first one to go, everything's gonna fall into place, but... see, okay. I can't do this. I gotta reset that. Because I need to keep this path available for the purple, which has to connect to the yellow. Oh, but if the purple has to connect to the yellow... oh, damn it. Purple has to connect to the... oh, I can connect it from the other side. Okay, yeah, that's fine. This goes to the green. Alright, and now we can connect the purple to the yellow through the middle. Boom. Alright, what's in the safe? We got a piece of paper with the business cards and the deer, which is a replica. No animals were harmed in making it this game. Okay. The deer is gonna go here. Right. Business card page 1. So we should start with Bob, Chris, John, Tony, Ian, and Michael. Where are the business cards here? Bob, Chris, John, Tony, Ian, Michael. Nope, I got them swapped. Okay, and then we know that Carol likes being on the left. Anne prefers to be near Bob. Ellen would like to be above Anne. Sophie likes to be on the very right, and Kate likes to be next to Michael. Alright, Kate next to Michael. N near Bob. Carol on the left. But Ellen above Anne, so N near Bob. Ellen above Anne. Carol on the left also has to be there. So these 3 slots are set. Which means it's really just Kate, Sophie, Kate and Sophie that we have to figure out. Kate likes to be next to Michael. And Sophie likes to be on the very right. Okay, we got it. Nope, not quite. Thought we had gotten it. Bob, Chris, John, Tony, and Michael. Bob, Chris, John, Tony, and Michael. Ellen above Anne and near Bob. Yep. Carol on the left. Sophie on the right. Kate next to Michael. Oh. Ellen would like to be above Anne. But if Anne is near Bob, and is not above Bob, this is the only way that can work. Oh, I forgot about Lola. Duh. I completely ignored Lola. Sophie likes to be on the very right. Swap Sophie and Lola. And Kate next to Michael. There we go. I think this is right. Okay. On the backside, I don't even know why they forced me out, but on the backside, book 334. Alright. Okay. Hup. Nope. This way. Okay. 3, 4, 3. So we get the letter H clearly, the letter E, the letter L. Oh, I still have this thing. Where do I connect the tablet to? Do you hold the tablet? Oh, no, maybe I should just... There's something on the back of the tablet. There's an empty battery. There's a short spear. It looks like a diamond. Oh! Can I access this? No. Oh, here! The drawer. Duh. Okay. Open it. And grab a small key. Which we use on... It is circular. Still starting up. Can I... Oh! There it is. Whoa, the light on the top turned on. Alright, well, let's use our faces to see if it recognizes it. Gender mismatch, so it needs to be a woman. And Temyoji tries a picture. The mysterious picture that we've seen before. somehow that actually works. Huh, it's a picture of Akane from 999. I've been looking for her for a long time. She's his first love. Maybe Tamioji is a familiar character after all. Put the helmet on. That suits him. I sit. Oh, nice. That's the target. I guess we do not have anything to load. Two, one, fire. We got an H, an E, and an L. Pull the lever. And rotate back, and we got a P. So the code is help. But they're not gonna let me do it right now. We're going to go to the other room. Oh, no. Okay, 4-digit password. Help. Alright, that's the base password. Now, it is time for the tangram. Alright. So the way it works, we need to... Maybe this controls better with a mouse? Yeah. We'll use a mouse for this part. But we want that like that. This like that. Maybe rotate it a little better. Like, I understand that's not the point of Tangram puzzles, but if they had made it so that it snapped onto a grid, that would have been very nice. Then we need this guy rotated. So the idea is that we're supposed to make the parallelogram that we saw in the fake bottle of brandy, right? That's our goal. So we do that. And we have to actually move a couple of these out of the way so we can better. I want this to be horizontal. And then we can wrap this up by having a straight square. And then filling the blanks with the last two bits. So we are going to need this guy like this, and this guy like that. All right. IILP. And we get the Moon Star as the secret pass. Moon Star. Alright, let's go and read all of that. Moon Star Key. 3 different types of car keys generally found in the safes in each room are used to open Yabi gates. Without them, you can't open Yabi gate to play the Yabi game, which means you can't gain BP. In other words, getting one of these cards is the first step in your escape. The Sun Key is used during the first round, the Moon Key for the second, and the Star Key for the third. What useless information. Slingshot. An elementary device that uses rubber to launch a small projectile. Frequently used by adolescent ne'er-do-wells. Can be used as a necklace, but this is not recommended. Test Site Mystery. The site in question was for a simulated manned mission to Mars held in the Nevada desert. On New Year's Eve 2028, the audio logs from the simulation contain a woman's voice, assumed to be one of the test subjects, saying the following. 6 of us are dead. Counting myself, there are only 3 left. I guess you could say I killed them. No, that's not quite right. Not just them. Not just these 6. All of them. All 6 billion. Most evidence seems to suggest that this was the beginning of the Radical 6 outbreak, and that the Nevada facility was the epicenter of the pandemic. Termite. A general term used to refer to insects in the epifamily of Termitolidae, or the cockroach order Blectodea. That's right, even though they're sometimes called white ants, termites aren't even the same family of as ants. They're in the cockroach family instead. Also, king crabs are in the hermit crab order, and the remora is in the Perciformis order. Have a nice blank. 3. Word 03 says before he leaves. There are a few variations. Have a nice trouble, have a nice tragedy, have a nice trust. Conjunction. A term used in positional astronomy. But simply, it means that 2 celestial bodies appear near one another in the sky. When used in the context of our solar system, it often refers to a position where a given celestial body is aligned with the Sun. For example, when Mars is on the opposite side of the Sun from Earth, it is considered to be in conjunction with Earth. Mercury and Venus, which orbit closer to the Sun than the Earth does, have 2 types of conjunction. When they are headed on the other side of the Sun, this is referred to as a superior conjunction. When they are lined up on the near side of the Sun, this is called inferior conjunction. Tenmyoji's picture. This is the photograph that Tenmyoji was holding. The subject is a girl named Akane Kuroshiki. Akane was one of the people who appeared in this game's sister title, 9 Hours 9 Versus 9 Doors, as a childhood friend of Junpei, the title's main character. In 999, she was 21 years old. This picture was taken 9 years before it, when she was 12. Look at the left side of the picture. If you look closely, it almost looks like there's a man grinning in the background. You see him? Don't worry if this seems a little strange. Spirit Medium has told us that the person in the picture is a guardian spirit who is looking after her. He must have shown up here because he'd heard what sort of destiny she had in store and decided to see how she was doing. Alright. For all that, now for the standard password, Moon, Star, Sun. Which contains just the start keys and the escape key. Escape room is on the other side. Alright. And this will do it for the stream. If you're watching live, I'll be back in a few minutes to continue playing through. In the meantime, make sure to check out twitch.tv/GamesWithNick, youtube.com/GamesWithNick. Follow, hit the bell, like, subscribe, leave a comment, all the good stuff. I just enjoy playing this game so much. I'm going to try to push through it and get at least one proper ending by the end of today if you're watching live. So I hope you keep up with us and come back in a few minutes. In any case, I hope to see you next time.